Welcome, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. With all of the wonderful tools and rulers for creating clamshells, I thought it would be appropriate to have a tutorial on drafting a basic clamshell block using Electric Quilt and then playing with some different quilt options. After setting up your project, select Design a Block from Scratch. Select a new block pieced EasyDraw block. The block size does not matter, but in the precision toolbar, I'm going to change to 6 by 6, and I want to set the snaps at 4 by 4. And snapping options should be just snap to grid. Everything we're going to draw is going to be with the arc tool. So if you select the arc, and you start in the center on the left edge, you can see as you drag, you create this arc. Now, if the arc is going the wrong direction, while you are still drawing the arc, select the space key on your keyboard and it will flip it the other direction. So I'm going to stop at the middle of the top, then click, hold, and drag from that point to the middle of the right edge. When doing the click, hold, and drag to the bottom, I want to change the direction of the arc. So before I release at the bottom, I'm going to use the space key on my keyboard and then draw another arc going back to the left edge. Select the Color tab and color the block using the paintbrush. I did pull in the July 2022 Fabric of the Month collection from the Do You EQ website. This is a free collection that anyone can download. Color all of the pieces other than the primary clamshell with a background fabric and select Add to Project Sketchbook. Select the quilt work table and select New Quilt Horizontal. On the Layout tab, change the number of blocks to 4 by 4. If you use specialty rulers, you will want to change the size of the blocks to match your ruler. I decided to use 8 by 8. And then on the border tab, let's have a 1-inch long horizontal, add, and we'll make that a 2-inch long horizontal. If the lock size adjustments are not set at all, you will need to type in the number 2 times. And then select Add and make it a 1-inch horizontal. Select the Design tab and under Block Tools, select the clamshell block, and I'm going to turn on the Hide Show Quilt patch lines. And with the Control or Command key, select one of the main block spaces in the quilt. Select Fabric Tools and recolor the clamshells using a variety of fabrics. Select Hide Show Quilt patch lines and Add to Project Sketchbook. Notice that the corner pieces for each of the blocks can create a new clamshell. And so with the paintbrush, color the pieces that are adjoining to create the illusion of additional clamshells. To give the illusion of all of the clamshells being pieced from single pieces of fabrics, under Print and Export, select Export Image. Navigate to My EQ8 Images, and under File Name, type in clamshell, select Save, and here's the key. Make sure Outline Patches and Outline Blocks is turned off. That way you're going to be able to see the clamshells the way that you will probably end up piecing them. And then select OK. Any activity under Print and Export will automatically save a copy of the quilt to the project sketchbook. Let's view the project sketchbook. Select the Quilts tab and select the first quilt and select Edit. Now under Block Tools, select Symmetry and click on one of the block spaces. So notice that we're now starting to get different rotations. If there are any that you like, go ahead and select Add to Sketchbook. I like this layout because it shows alternating full clamshells, but with a different rotation. Select Fabric Tools, and now for each of the pieced clamshells, select an alternate fabric to color them. And select Add to Project Sketchbook. Now I decided to play with a variation of the block. So on the block work table, go to the Draw tab. Using the arc tool, draw an arc from the center on the right to the bottom. Now we want this to go in the opposite direction, so use the space key on your keyboard to change the direction of the arc. Then create another one going to the left edge. Select the Color tab and color the revised block, and Add to Project Sketchbook. Select the quilt work table, and there's one setting I want to check. So let's go to Work Table Options, and under Setting Blocks, I'm going to turn off Maintain the Block Rotation and select OK. So now when I do the block tools, Set Block, scroll to the end and select the newest block, and with the controller command key, select one of the block spaces. Now I always suggest doing an Add to Project Sketchbook before you do Symmetry. Select Symmetry and click on the block to see alternate variations. Once you locate a layout that you like to work with, use Fabric Tools and recolor the blocks. You could also use the paintbrush to recolor some of the centers. And Add to Project Sketchbook. I hope you are seeing some possibilities of how you could play with just that single clamshell or the alternate clamshell block as shown in the video. I look forward to seeing your quilts.